Warning, Prospect Watch is not your average hockey podcast, and that's okay with us. Our goal is to introduce you to stars in the making from all over the world. They may not be household names yet, but we assure you they will be soon enough. Welcome to Prospect Watch.
Hello and welcome to Prospect Watch, a podcast that focuses solely on the discovery and promotion of some of the best young talent in the game today from all reaches of the world. My name is Lance Green and I'll be your host. Along for the ride, of course, is my co-host Steel. Steel, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
All right, and this week's special guest is none other than former Brooks Bandits Star forward Ryan McAllister, who now finds himself attending and playing for Division I Western Michigan University Broncos of the NCAA. Ryan, how are you?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure, our pleasure. So, Ryan, I'm just going to give us a rundown, the fans here, just who you are and what kind of player they're actually getting to listen to right now, because I think you're very underrated, and coming from the AJHL, maybe some people haven't heard of you, but I don't know, they must be living under a rock. So
they must be living under a rock or something.
Right. So for those of you that don't know Ryan, he's a 20-year-old forward who was born in London, Ontario, a city that has given us such NHL talents as Eric Lindros, Joe Thornton, Jeff Carter, Drew Doughty, Nazem Kadri, Craig McTavish, Brad Marsh, and Travis Konechny, just to name a few. So you would think that Ryan, being from London, he might have trouble living up to the expectations of those players that came before him, right? Well, I'm here to tell you, although he might have been labeled a bit of a late bloomer as far as standards go, with Ryan scoring just 30 points over the course of his first 2 seasons with the Bandits, I have to say what a difference a season makes, because after the type of year he had last season, folks, I assure you, he is not that far away from joining the ranks of those above-mentioned NHL players. What caused this monumental change in his production? Well, we'll just have to ask him in a few minutes, but if I had to guess, it at least had something to do with the fact that last season he was part of a trio playing for the Alberta Junior Hockey League's Brooks Bandits, who got to play with a phenomenal other 2 players, TJ Hughes and defenseman Zachary Bookman, who both, they were all 3 really, made a habit of filling up the stat sheet on a nightly basis. So much so that Ryan, regular season last year, Steel, he had an incredible 57 goals, a league-leading 82 assists, which all added up to an incredible 139 points, all right?
Jeez.
So that's over 60 games, all right, folks, which equates, if you do the math, to a 2.31 points per game over the course of the entire season.
Wow.
That's pretty astounding, right?
Can we get you on our team?
Right.
Right. Hello? Can we get you on our team?
Right. Of course, this is unheard of feat, but this honor of all these points added up to, of course, the league's him earning the Ernie Love Trophy, which is given to the player who won the league scoring title, as well as him being labeled the AJHL's most valuable player. But
Congratulations.
Right? But McAllister wasn't done there. During the AJHL's playoffs, he was able to score 10 times in 13 games and assisted for 19 assists for bringing the total point totals to 29, all right?
Jeez.
Which, again, if you do the math, that adds up to 2.23 points per game in the postseason. This type of showing naturally saw that his team was awarded the league's championship, known as the Inter Pipeline Cup, as well as earning him the honor of being named the AJHL's playoff MVP as well. Pretty astounding.
Oh my God.
Right? But Ryan's historic season still wasn't finished. Seeing that they won the AJHL's championship, the Bandits then went up against the other league's champions from around Canada, which is known as the Centennial Cup. And it was in this tournament of champions that McAllister was able to amass 8 goals, 10 assists for 18 points in just 6 games. All right. Steel, if you do the math, right? If you do the math on that, Steel, that's 3 points per game
Oh my gosh.
against championship caliber talent.
Wow.
Now, if that's not clutch, I don't know what is. All right. So,
my gosh.
Right? That brings us to this season, right? Now, there's no doubt that McAllister is going to be hard-pressed if he wants to top his production from last year, but that certainly isn't stopping him from trying. This year, Ryan can be found suiting up for the previous mentioned Western Michigan University Broncos, where as a freshman, he is currently leading the team in points, scoring 3 goals and 5 assists for 8 points in just 7 games played. Guys, that means once again, he is averaging over a point per game, or more accurately, a .14 right now in the NCAA.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
I mean, I think we got a pretty good player to come on the show this week. What do you think?
No, I think we got a phenomenal player to put on the show this week. And
I think so.
Oh my gosh, Ryan, man, I got to tell you something. With all of that stuff and the whirlwind that you've had over the last 18 months, right? Okay. So now that you're settling in at Western Michigan and everything like that, and you're starting to get into a groove there and everything like that, I'd kind of like to know what you like to do away from the rink.
Yeah, our season didn't end up ending there until probably about June, so I didn't really have a lot of time to spend at home. But I like to spend time with family when I'm back there, or just some good friends, and I like to get out and practice my golf game a little bit. But yeah, I had to come back to Western Michigan pretty early here, and start training with the guys here, and so came back here in about August. So
nice,
awesome. It's always good to get some good time with family, and especially with you being away and everything like that. So that's always good to come back to get to some time with family.
Yeah.
Lance?
Yeah, sure. So can you talk a little bit about your experience getting to play for such a great coach up with the Bandits and Ryan? He's just an amazing talent in my mind, and somehow keeps getting players like yourself to keep coming back into the program and just restocking the shelves.
Yeah, I don't think I can speak highly enough about my coach there in Brooks, Ryan Papuano. I definitely owe a lot of my success to him and the rest of the coaching staff there. And it's just almost a testament to how great that program truly is in developing players. And obviously, a lot of people know about Cale McCarr and the guys that have come through that system. But I can't thank Brooks and Ryan enough.
Well, I think they're going to have to start saying, you coming through the program and saying Ryan coming through the program too, right?
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Okay. So could you describe to our viewers the type of player you consider yourself to be?
Yeah, I would consider myself to be very offensive minded, and I like to make plays with the puck, and I'm not afraid to almost make that play if it's at the blue line or stuff like that. I definitely like to make plays, and I like to score goals and set up goals for sure.
Awesome. That's always good, yeah.
Yeah, right. So would you consider yourself more of a playmaker or more of a shooter?
Before last season, I like to consider myself more of a playmaker, but I just found myself getting in spots, and the puck was just going in last year. So I like to right now consider myself a little bit of both.
There you go. We'll take that.
More well-balanced player for sure.
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah?
Exactly.
All right. Well, as you know, Ryan, I've written a couple articles on you in the past. I've gotten to see quite a bit of your games, reviewing film and all that. So can you tell us and our viewers a little bit about how you, TJ, and Zach all came together as one of the most powerful trios, I think, in junior hockey ever. You guys did score combined last year 368 points. That's 6 points a night from the three of you, between the three of you. That's pretty amazing in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, going into last season, I don't think any of us expected us to do what we did. But after kind of the first 15 games, we all kind of were joking about it in practice, what if we all got to 100 points? And we ended up doing that, and we're all super close off the ice too. So it was just super fun to show up to the rink every day and see those guys, and obviously the production on the ice too is super fun.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I got to see the awesome interview that Zach did on you a little while ago there about your time there at the Brooks Bandits, and I thought you guys did a really great job. So I have to compliment you on because we know that Zach is trying to get into communication, so he did really good on the interview there. So and you were good as the interviewee, right? So I have a question here for you now. I used to be a chef. And so I'm going to say, do you have a pregame meal? Do you have anything in particular that you like to eat as far as, for your pregame meal, or is there anything special, or do you snack, or what do you got to do for your pregame there?
Living with billets last year was a little easier. So I would just kind of get home from morning skate, pretty much sleep all day, and then just come upstairs and the food would be on the table for me. Last year, I would always have some sort of Alfredo pasta, whatever noodles it was, and just some chicken, and that was it. But this year, I live at the dorms as a freshman, and it's a little tougher living on your own. And, you kind of got to fend for yourself out there with food and cleaning and that stuff. So, I'll get home from morning skate, and I'll just go to like a pasta place and kind of this thing there. So I like to pick up like Alfredo pasta again, and just throw some chicken in there, and just get ready for the game that way.
Awesome. That sounds really good, man. You're making me hungry now. Go ahead, Lance.
All right. You had to know that making the jump to the NCAA was going to be not so easy, right? So can you tell us something that you found yourself working on this summer to get ready for this season?
Yeah, I feel like my game translates pretty well with my skill and stuff like that. But I knew the guys were definitely going to be a lot stronger, like in the corners and in puck battles. So I feel like that's what I was working on for a lot of the summer is like puck protection and just battles in the corners with bigger guys that I train with. And I feel like that kind of got me ready. And I'm still working on that part of my game. And I show up every day to practice, and that's probably the part that I like to work on the most is just my puck battles and stuff like that. So I feel like that's the biggest jump to college hockey.
Awesome. So, along those lines there, Ryan, what would you attribute to be your greatest or strongest skill set?
I think my mind. I think I see the ice really well, and I see the play that's developing before it happens, or when my teammates have the puck down low. I think I'm pretty good at like finding the open spot in the slot to get open, and just kind of release a shot whether it goes in or not. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, watching the tape on you, you do have really good vision and really good anticipation.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there. NCAA is a big physical league, and it doesn't get as much credit for that as, some give it. So I definitely think, you trying to really get in there and work on those things is a key to your success. And it seems to already be working. You seem to be settling into Western Michigan just fine by the looks of how you're doing on the ice. But how's campus life, and what are you majoring in?
Yeah, I mean, campus is definitely different. I maxed out in junior, so I played all 3 years, and I almost haven't been in school now for about 3 years. So just kind of getting back to that, and like I said, living on your own at the dorms, and it's a little weird, but the campus is big, but you learn it pretty quick, and you know where you're going, and yeah, it's just everyone's super friendly around here, and the school is really supportive of the hockey team and the students and the teachers. So it's like almost like a family here, and it's just awesome. So I like it.
Good.
Awesome. Western Michigan does have a pretty rich history in hockey as well, too, with the likes of some of the other folks that we've talked about as well, coming through the program and everything. Yeah. So given your success in juniors last year, have you set any goals for yourself this year?
Yeah, of course I've set some goals, and I just kind of want to be an offensive guy that the coach can rely on again, and just another goal would be to almost develop part of my defensive game that I didn't really work on before and didn't need it, but I just kind of want to learn like what it's like to develop into a pro hockey player and just develop those parts of my game. So
nice. Yeah,
Lance, I think he's well on his way. What do you think?
I mean, I think he's saying all the right things. From what I see,
Yeah.
You don't really need defense when you're putting up that many points last year in juniors, but it's the next step, I think, in becoming a pro or making that jump. So saying and doing all the right things, it sounds like to me, for sure. Ryan, can you talk a little bit about your new coach now? You've had a couple of games and, of course, training camp to get used to him. How does he differ from your last? And maybe how has it become that he came to recruit you?
Yeah, Pat's a great coach for sure. It's a ton of experience, and he knows how to for sure make guys ready for the next level. And you see that with Ronnie Adder and Samuelson and stuff like that. He's an unbelievable coach, and he's an unbelievable guy too. Every day at practice, he's always making jokes or skating around the ice. He's always beside me, just having a quick chat and stuff like that. He's awesome, but at the same time that I say that, he's also a pretty intimidating guy when he wants to be, and when he's on you, and he's got a loud voice and pretty scary guy when he starts yelling. But sometimes you need that, a coach to be hard on you. And yeah, it's recruiting I was actually playing junior B when I was 17, so it was a long time ago. And the old coaches at this school actually recruited me and then ended up leaving. But when they left, I had a little bit of second doubts when the coaches left, but he called me right away and kind of just made me feel comfortable about how life was going to be and how it was going to be this year. And, he's lived up to the standard that he set. So can't thank him enough too.
Nice.
Awesome, man. That's one of the important things, I think, especially for folks like yourself just trying to get situated and get rolling, you know what I mean, to have that little bit of support there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So I hear that you got a special invite to a certain Toronto Maple Leafs development camp this year. How'd that turn out?
Yeah, last year I ended up getting the Vegas Golden Knights invite, and that was my first one. I was really excited, so took that one right away. And just kind of Toronto called me and saying that their camp was actually after Vegas's. So that being my hometown team, I was crazy excited about that. And I've kind of cheered for them my whole life, as much as I hate to say it. It's a little bit tough being a fan and
we won't hold it against you. We promise.
Go through that stuff, but putting on that jersey and after cheering for them my whole life was pretty special.
I bet.
Awesome. That's awesome. Awesome.
All right. So I'm an old goaltender myself. So I have to ask you, is there one netminder that you either faced or played with currently or whatever that just seemed to have your number when you faced them?
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. My best buddy growing up, he's still my best buddy, actually. His name's Owen Say. He played for Salmon Arm in the BCHL for his junior, and now he's at actually Mercyhurst University. So he's been my best friend pretty much growing up. Shot on him pretty much every day for my whole life, either on the outdoor rink or we trained together all summer. So I want to say he's got my number, but I also don't want to give him that at the same time.
Well, it's too late now because now he's gonna hear this now.
Yeah,
he's gonna hold on to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So if you could name any maybe NHL player growing up or playing today that you would maybe model your game after, or somebody that you most might like to be like, or try to kind of be like, or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of coaches and stuff like to compare my shot to Austin Matthews, but obviously I'm not blessed with the size that he is. But he is my favorite player in the NHL, and I love watching him. But I also like to say my player comparison is almost like similar to a player like Clayton Keller. Not the biggest guy, but a lot of skill, pretty fast, and likes to make plays offensively. So I'd say those two.
Well, I mean, both those players are pretty good. If you get to be at their level and plays anything similar to them, you'll do just fine for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So people like to think we hockey players are some of the most superstitious players in all the major sports. are you known to be making that statement true? If so, what kind of habits or rituals do you have before a game, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff with what guys do, but you know, mine's not too crazy. I just kind of do the same things at the same time, usually on a game day. When I get dressed, I like to put like my left stuff on. So like I'll put my left sock, left shin pad on first, and left
Okay.
sleeve. So not that crazy, but I like to put the left equipment on before the right.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. We had one of your teammates on here the last time, and he puts all the stuff on the right first.
Well, he's a righty, so a little different.
Yeah. So, all right. What originally drew you to hockey, to pick this sport? Obviously, you're from Canada and in a hockey hotbed of, London, but, who maybe inspiration or somebody pushed you that way?
Yeah, I mean, I was just 3 years old and just kind of listened to whatever my parents wanted me to be in, and I don't really remember them telling me to try hockey, but I guess I fell in love with it, and I'm pretty thankful that they put me into this game. So
Yeah.
And it's always good to have the support, of the family,
yeah.
to help you out or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, well, we know that there's guys give each other nicknames and and things like that. And do you have one? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, I actually do have one. The boys in Brooks like to call me Callie, short for McAllister. So kind of just carried on to the team this year. So, but a funny story about that. The guy I sit in the room right beside, his name's Cole Gallant, and they call him Galley with a G. So it's sounds really similar. So we're always getting mixed up with that one.
So sometimes
confusing.
You might be called Galley.
Just answer and be the other one for sure.
Yeah, right. Maybe you should do that on purpose sometime just to mix everybody up.
Yeah, maybe that'd be good.
So, can you give us, one thing that people would be surprised to know about you?
I feel like people would be surprised to know that I'm pretty smart in school. I'd like to say that I'm doing pretty well right now, but I don't. I wouldn't say I look like the brightest guy in the room all the time, but I like to pride myself in getting good marks in school for sure.
Okay. Steel?
Awesome. You've had a rather historic junior career, and now you've gotten to the top of the level there at juniors, and now you're at Western Michigan now, you know what I mean? And so you kind of had to start at the bottom, you know what I mean? Has anybody or has a teammate or a coach or maybe a mentor or somebody kind of taken you under their wing and shown you around campus or kind of shown you the ropes or anything like that? And if so, could you tell us who that person is and how that affects you?
Yeah, I'm coming in as an older guy, so a lot of the guys on our team are older anyways, so it's not like I'm a 17-year-old kid.
Right.
But yeah, I would say the guy that showed me around, his name's Max Sasson. It's actually the guy that I play with this year. He's also having a terrific start to his season, and getting a lot of interest too. But he's an unbelievable guy, great teammate, and he made me feel comfortable right away. And when I was training here in the summer, he gave me a spot on his couch to sleep, and he just kind of showed me around for my first couple of weeks here, and he was awesome.
That's great.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we don't want to keep you too long, so I'll ask you one more question before we try to wrap things up.
Yep.
Do you have any advice for some of our younger viewers who may be still chasing that dream?
Yeah, I mean, my dream, I almost thought it was over. I got cut in minor midget, didn't get drafted into the OHL, which was like the big thing in Ontario or the junior leagues here. And, I wasn't the player that I am today about 5-6 years ago. So, I never gave up. I turned to family and, some of my closest friends about what to do. And, they told me to just stick with it. And, I'm really glad that I did. So, if tough times are tough right now, just look to me as an example of things definitely do get better. And, just keep working hard and, things are going to turn out your way one day. So.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great advice. Ryan, we'd like to thank you for coming on here. And Lance, I think you have some closing things.
Yeah, just same. Ryan, thank you again for coming on, making some time for us. We know the seasons, can get pretty busy with school and everything as well. I just don't know why you weren't drafted either. Maybe a little bit of a late bloomer, like I said, but I think your play this year at Western Michigan is going to speak for itself. And I think if they aren't already, I think it's got to be having NHL teams send some scouts your way to some games because, your play through juniors last year and how you've already started out the season this year. I can't see somebody trying not to sign you after this season. And, our best of luck goes to you. And hopefully you'll follow up with us and not forget the little guys once in a while if we wish to, have you back on the show sometime later on.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys enough. And, obviously hoping for the best. Just going to keep working hard. So.
We follow your game, and we've been following your game, and this is one of the reasons why we had you on the show, because we very much like your game and what you've brought to the table, and we both feel that we're shocked that you weren't drafted, and to be honest with you, teams are going to probably be kicking themselves if they don't draft you this coming season. So we're looking forward to that. And as Lance said, please don't be a stranger, because we're going to be following you throughout your entire career, and we'd like to be able to have you come back, once you make it to the big leagues, so don't forget about us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, guys, hoping for the best for sure. If it happens, I'd be very thankful, and I definitely wouldn't forget about you guys. So
awesome. Well, you got two guys rooting for you, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Sweet. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Prospect Watch. Your host, Lance Green.
Hey, thanks, you guys.
And I'm your co-host, SteelFlyers. And our special guest this week has been Ryan McAllister from Western Michigan. Thank you, Ryan, for being on the show. Thank you all for watching us. We'll be back on the next Prospect Watch to bring you another great prospect. Thanks, everyone.